If you have spent any time online, you've probably seen the video. There's this single penguin, and it just breaks away from its colony. But it's not walking towards the sea, where the food is. It's walking inland, towards this vast, empty expanse of Antarctic mountains. It is a completely haunting image and a total mystery. And it leaves everybody with the same big question. Why? I mean, why would it do that? Online, you see all these theories. People project our own feelings onto it. Depression, loneliness, like it was making some kind of conscious choice. But what's really going on here, the science behind it, is honestly even more incredible. Okay, first things first, let's get some context. This footage isn't new, not at all. It's actually from a 2007 documentary by the legendary filmmaker Werner Herzog. For well over a decade, it was just this one weird scene in a movie. Then, social media got a hold of it, and boom, this lonely penguin became a viral legend. Now, to really figure out why this penguin went rogue, we first have to understand what a normal penguin's life is all about. And that story starts in their home, Antarctica. We're talking the coldest, driest, and windiest place on the entire planet. For a penguin, life is this constant, crazy trade-off. On one hand, you have the land. It's a frozen desert, right? There's no food, and temperatures can plummet to minus 90 degrees Celsius. But, and this is a huge but, it's safe. There are no land predators. Then you've got the sea. It's a non-stop buffet of fish and krill. But it's also patrolled by some serious hunters, like leopard seals and orcas. So that's the deal. You have to endure the deadly cold of the land to raise your family, just so you can brave the dangerous sea to get a meal. And boy, are they built for it. I mean, nature has given them some serious upgrades. They've got this thick layer of fat called blubber that works like the best insulation you can imagine. And their feathers are so dense and they overlap so perfectly, it's basically a windproof, waterproof jacket. All this stuff lets them survive in conditions that would, freeze a person solid in just a few seconds. But here's the thing you have to understand. Not all penguins are the same. A penguin isn't just a penguin. And to get to the bottom of our mystery, we really need to look at two very different species with two totally different strategies for surviving in this brutal place. First up, let's meet the emperor penguin. This is the heavyweight champion of Antarctica, standing up to 4 feet tall. And this penguin is famous for one thing more than anything else: sacrifice. I'm not kidding. People call them the world's best dads, and you're about to see why. The life of a male emperor penguin it's just an epic ordeal. Every single year, he marches up to 100 kilometers inland, and he doesn't eat for 2 whole months. After his mate lays their single egg, she's completely spent and has to go back to the sea to eat. So she hands off the egg to him, and for the next 2 months, he basically stands motionless in minus 60-degree blizzards, balancing this one precious egg on his feet, starving the entire time. And the price he pays for this is just staggering. By the time the female gets back, the male has lost up to half his body weight. Just think about that. It's an absolutely unbelievable feat of endurance, and it's all about one thing: sacrifice. Okay, now let's meet a completely different kind of character. This is the Adelie penguin. And yep, this is the same species from our viral video. And if the emperor is the noble martyr of the family, the Adelie is, well, it's the clever little neighborhood rogue. Adelie penguins are super social. They're smart, and they are definitely a little mischievous. See, on the coast where they live, there are no twigs or grass to build nests, so they use stones. And to an Adelie, a good smooth stone is like a diamond, and they will do almost anything to get them, including a little bit of theft. They're famous for sneaking over to a neighbor's nest, grabbing a stone, and making a run for it. They'll literally spend a whole day fighting over a single rock. Okay, so we've got the self-sacrificing emperor on one side and the social, stone-stealing Adelie on the other. Now that we have that context, we can finally get back to our lone traveler and try to piece together what could have possibly gone so wrong. When the filmmaker, Werner Herzog, actually asked the penguin scientists on his trip about this penguin, they gave him a pretty stark term for it. They called it a psychotic breakdown. It's basically a catastrophic glitch in the animal's brain that makes it act completely against its own survival instincts. To understand why a glitch like that is so devastating, you have to appreciate the incredible piece of hardware that penguins are running. Just think of it like a built-in biological GPS system. It's this amazing natural navigation computer right inside their minds. And this system is just wild. Penguins can literally feel the Earth's magnetic field to get their bearings. They use the sun and the stars to navigate. They even follow tiny little cues in the flow of the water and pick up on specific smells. Their brain takes all of this data and creates this perfect mental map that can guide them for hundreds of kilometers right back to their home turf.
So that's the multi-million-dollar question, right? You have this incredibly sophisticated, almost foolproof system. What on earth could possibly cause it to just break? How could it get its direction so catastrophically wrong?
Well, scientists think this glitch can be kicked off by a few different things. It might be something physical, like a brain infection or some kind of parasite messing with the works. Or it could be triggered by really extreme circumstances, like being under stress for a long time, or being severely hungry. And in that moment, when its internal compass shatters, the penguin's brain just locks onto a new, and in this case, a fatal direction. So science gives us a logical explanation, a tragic one, but a logical one, a mental misfire. But I don't know, for anyone who's actually watched that clip, it's really hard to shake the feeling that there's something more going on, something emotional. And that leads us to a question that science is still trying to figure out. Can animals feel emotions that we would recognize as grief? Now, of course, we can't know for sure what a penguin is thinking, but we can watch how they act. Researchers have seen behaviors in penguins that look an awful lot like mourning. For example, when a chick dies, the parents will often just stand over the body, making these calls that you can only really describe as sad. They'll refuse to leave the spot. And sometimes, in what seems like this desperate act, they'll even try to steal the chicks of other penguins. So while the most likely answer is some kind of neurological failure, we can't totally rule out that maybe this penguin's journey was started by some kind of deep loss. Which brings us to the last, really heartbreaking question. What happened to it? Well, the filmmaker's hands were tied. There are very strict laws in Antarctica. You do not interfere with nature. He had to just let it go. The penguin just kept walking and walking until it was just a tiny speck that vanished into all that white.
In the end, we're just left with the filmmaker's own powerful words. He described the penguin as a lost traveler who left everything and set out for an unknown destination. And it's just this incredible reminder that no matter how much we study and explain, the natural world can still show us mysteries that are so profound and sometimes so